Buying a home will show you a side of yourself that you didn't even know existed. What I mean by that is buying a house is a stressful process. There's no way around it. Anybody who tells you different is really lying to you. Um, as you're going through the process, there's different things that are going to stress you out. It, you have to think about it as it's your brain just firing up to try to protect you. Lots of things happen through the process, so let's go through it. The easiest way I think to look at buying a house right now is kind of like the dating world, right? We do everything online. So when you're getting ready to get into the market, you do your homework, you prepare, you get pre-approved. Then you start shopping online, or essentially online dating. This is the beginning of your stressful real estate journey, which is okay. It's not bad. Stress is not a bad thing. Anyway, so we start the process, we start looking online. There are photographers who catfish with house photography, just like there are catfishes on online dating. So once we, pick out a couple properties, then we go look at them in person. Same thing with kind of vetting out when you're dating somebody to make sure that they match their pictures. Then from there, let's say we pick the one that we like, checks all the boxes, then we do our due diligence period where, we take time to figure out what we're doing before you commit. Now, during that process, just like with dating, you're going to feel a level of stress the entire time. The reason for the level of stress is because your brain is going to try to fill in the gaps of the unknown. There are many unknowns and many things that are going to be out of your control in the real estate process. And what I mean with that is, just like dating is an emotional process, buying a house is an emotional process as well. It doesn't matter if it's your primary residence, an investment property, whatever the real estate is, there is some emotional connection involved. So when that happens, that's when, your internal protection starts to come in. So if you're typically a calm, cool, collected person, suddenly when you start the real estate process, you notice you're very on edge. Or if you're somebody who just is go, go, go and just likes things to go fast. So that's how I am. I'm a very go, go, go person. However, anytime I'm involved in a real estate transaction myself, I do notice myself slowing down, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, not just as a realtor, but as somebody who is making an investment myself as well, which is smart. However, it's something to be aware of. As you're going through the real estate process, you'll notice it, you will feel it, you will feel this kind of like, I don't feel like myself mentality. And it's okay. I'm here to tell you it happens to 100% of people. And if somebody tells you it didn't happen to them, it's because they didn't notice it. And that's okay too, I guess. But anyway, back to our house and dating scenario, right? So we go through our due diligence period. Everything is looking good. However, same with dating. During your due diligence period, sometimes you'll see things that you're just not okay with. And that's when you can end things and move on to the next. But sometimes during your due diligence period, well, not sometimes, all the time, you're going to find something that you don't like, that isn't perfect. Houses, just like people, are not perfect, and that's okay. When you're going through that process, you'll start to realize as you're looking through the house, okay, the good outweighs the bad. I'm okay with some of these things, or you know what, there's really too many things. They're small things, but they're really adding up. I'm not comfortable. You can back out. Until the day of closing or your wedding, you have the opportunity to back out at any point. Even after the wedding, if you want to get a divorce, you can sell the house. See how it's like, it's all the same. An emotional, stressful process where it really doesn't need to be. A lot of the times, it's just your brain playing tricks on you, putting you in these overthinking, overwhelming situations because your brain is trying to protect you, which, again, we need, but our brains can't sense the difference between writing an offer on a house and falling off of a cliff sometimes. So that's where you just have to be aware of it and lean into your task positive things. When you start to feel yourself getting that stress or anxiety, ask yourself, is this something that's in my control? Or is it something that's not in my control? If it's something that's not in your control, why stress about it? And things that are not in your control are, once we submit an offer, once we submit the highest offer that you're comfortable with, it's out of our control how the seller responds. If the seller decides to go with another offer that they feel was better for what they were looking for, it's not in our control. It's not in your realtor's control. It's not in anyone's control. The other things are, defects with the house. Those aren't really in your control until you own the house. But it is in your control to decide if that's something you want to move forward with or not. So when you, it's kind of a double-edged sword, if you will, because you need the emotion to emotionally connect yourself to the house, just like you need the emotion to connect yourself into a relationship, but you also have to take a step back and look logically. Write out a list of logically, does this make sense for me? Yes, I understand, I'm excited, or, I see a future in this house or with this person, but again, it has to make sense logically. The other thing that comes up is a lot of times where I see the most emotion is if there is a multiple offer situation. And in a multiple offer situation, a lot of times people get more competitive and just want to win the house rather than actually liking the house, which, my goal as your realtor, believe it or not, it's not to just sell a house at the end of the day. I want to help you build your home. I want to help you build wealth. I want to help you build a future with your family. If that means, yes, selling all these houses, great. But if it also means asking you to take a step back in those situations to see, do you really want this house or do you just really want to win? And that's, a question that only you can answer. So join me on this series as we go through different parts of the real estate transaction, breaking them down, being transparent.